dude. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Dude, I'm doing well. Dude, thanks for coming on the show. Guys, welcome to episode 12. Help I'm High, Can't Get Down. They got Blake Hammond. Yeah, dude, you like it?
Yeah, it's a fun little thing.
It's a fun little thing. So you are a Cincinnati comic.
Yeah.
I brought you on because you have... you recently did a special.
Mm-hmm.
You did a special taping
For Amazon Prime. Yeah, it'll be out in like a couple months. I just looked at the second.
It was for Amazon Prime?
I just looked at the second cut of it, yeah, today.
So this is like... So this is not like you...
Well, it's like a production company that works with Amazon, right? So a production company in Cincinnati, 4x3, and they just work with Amazon Prime, so it's all just funneled through them.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So they have like, I mean, Amazon's got like production companies all over the fucking world. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, the production company was super chill. They're super cool dudes. And they saw me open for Lee Kimbrell on his special. So they were like, do you want to do one? I was like, yeah.
So, hell yeah.
Yeah. So Lee should be coming out here, I think, like at the end of the month. And then mine will be out in like 5 or 6 probably. But yeah.
How's the... Are you guys... So how does the whole editing process work? So we were talking about this last podcast, but... What is your experience? Is this your first one?
This is my first one.
Okay.
Yeah. So far, he sent me a first copy of it like a month ago, and then I sent him a fucking shit ton of notes, whatever. But this was like before the sound was mixed and all that. So like that was my main concern. I was like, "Fuck, dude, it sounds like shit. Like I was crushing. Why doesn't it sound good?" But then they mixed the sound this time, and they sent it back to me. And I was like, oh, yeah, this is good. This is fine. Like, now it's just, like, the order or, like, there's, like, weird transitions or something. You know what I mean? Or, like, there's a little part where I do, like, there's probably, like, 3 minutes of, like, crowd work that I do with this guy. And, like, it needs, like, a little background almost. You know what I mean? So it's, like, we add that. Like, we could have that in there. But, yeah, man, I mean, it looks cool. It's fucking... We filmed it in the basement of this place called Motor in Cincinnati, which is just like a dingy little fucking dungeon. And, yeah, it looks sick. I'm excited.
Dude, hell yeah. So, how many tapings did you do?
We did one night, 2 shows. The first show was good, but it was just like... It was a Thursday night, and, I don't know, man. It was like a lot of older people who like me came. And it was just kind of like fine, but the second show was a little more wild, and I was like, that's what I like. I liked it to be a little more wild, and it was a lot of younger people, so I was like, all right, yeah, so basically the whole second show is the tape.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like, it's almost exclusively the second show, which is cool. There was like 50 people in each room, each show. So it's not like a ton, but you can't really fit a ton down there with 4 cameras.
Yeah.
You know.
So how long have you been doing comedy for?
The end of 2013, 2014. So like, would it be like 8 to 9 years?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's probably, I think I'm very close to, so Dan Seabury just celebrated his 8th, right? So yeah, I should be like 8
soon
in a couple months.
Hell yeah.
So it's like,
dude, hell yeah,
we're about the same. We started at the same time.
Sweet. So this is I love asking comics who are at like different time periods, like how. So would you say that you found your voice?
No.
Your stage voice yet?
I have no idea.
No,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it probably is more there than it was like ever, but it still doesn't feel like, when I write a joke, it does. There's jokes that feel like my style of joke, right? But there is no, I've never felt like I didn't, maybe it's because I never felt like I was like talking like somebody else.
Yeah.
So like I was talking like myself always, but I think I'm finding how to be the funniest version of me, I guess. There's definitely still influences though. Like I'll watch myself and be like, that's a little... Tom Takari, that's a little Chad Danielsy, that's a little whatever, you know what I mean? Like I'll just still have those influences, like just like on little shit, where you're like, I know it for sure, and like if people who love that person would know it, like Norman, there's a little bit of stuff like, yeah, man, it's hard. Sam Talent, like it's hard to take all of that stuff out. It's like, I don't know, man, it's like a band, right? Like you're gonna like. Your favorite band sounds a little bit like their favorite band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's never gonna be fully gone, but because that's still who you are as a person. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever feel like my voice is, I don't know if that happens.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that? I don't know.
No, I just know that I feel like sometimes, and by the way, I'm just going to apologize to anybody watching. I'm hungover as shit. So if you just see me grabbing my head and shit, just know that's what's happening.
It's not me.
Yeah. You just look so ugly. I just can't look at you.
No, I get that.
No, but I was gonna say I feel like I have an issue with trying to find out like what my style is exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm like trying to like. Because I like my biggest influencers like Daniel Tosh or Andrew Schultz and stuff like that, and they do some like really crazy shit, and it's like I don't want to be them. I want to be my own person, but it's like how what is that for me? I don't know. So
it's hard to I don't know, man.
Like for example, like when I went to the feedback mic when I first met you, it's like you guys were like, well, this joke is.
Yeah, but it was like also though we could find like it wasn't that it was bad. Like the joke wasn't bad itself. Like it was a funny idea, and it was like it's just how do you fucking navigate it to not be something that's already been done, and then also something that I don't know it's a little edgier of a topic, right?
Yeah.
So it is like you have to navigate that and navigate not being hacky. So it's like, okay, like you got to find that middle, and it's fucking hard. I think like, whatever we came up with, I don't remember what it was, but I do remember
we wanted
liking
a
the
sillier,
angle.
sillier take.
Yeah.
What you guys
said. Man. Cause I mean, if you look at Daniel Tosh, it's like all that shit he fucking talks about is really fucked up, but it's very silly.
Yeah.
It's extremely just like, oh, this is so dark, but not really. Cause he's being a weirdo and he's being just, fun. Like, yeah, that's like my favorite.
Who would you say is your favorite comedian?
Comedian? Oh, fuck, dude. I don't know. It's so hard to pick. Like, I think it changes. Like, I just work with Blair Saki, and she's fucking hilarious, dude.
Hell yeah.
Like, seeing her live is it's a different beast than it is seeing her, like, on clips and shit. She's so fucking, it's that same thing, man. It's that silly, dark. I mean, it probably goes back to like Louis C.K. Like it was like he was so silly and dark that it was like, oh, that's my favorite type of comedy. Shane Gillis is probably right now he's like, I mean, I don't know if you could top him, but I also think the top two specials of last year were Shane and then Rosebud. And it was like, man, Rosebud's like so fucking funny, and she's so good at writing jokes.
What did you think about Shane Gillis' special?
I thought it was fucking amazing.
Like, did you think it was like a 10 across the board?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even I loved the moments of them being tense. I loved the moments of the DJ playing next door. Like, you know what I mean? That shit's fucking. That's like real. That's real comedy.
I actually kind of thought that was a little annoying, but I feel like I guess I'm still used to the old style where it's like like Daniel Tosh's Isn't Sorry, fucking,
Yeah, right. I don't know, man. That shit's like that's what comedy is like.
Yeah,
like that fucking like hearing music play. You could be murdering.
Yeah,
and then he says that music starts. You're like.
I would rather do that.
Yeah, I can't fucking compete with this. And it's like that's such a real road comedy moment that you're like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like, of course.
So when did you decide that you were going to do a special?
When they offered me one. I was like, yeah, all right, like, I'll do it.
And you said it. How long is it?
Mine is like 36. It was supposed to be 30, but I ended up adding some jokes that I don't really do anymore, but I was like, if I can get them on something, like, fuck it. Let's, you know what I mean? Like, let's see. And they went well. I was like, all right, throw it on there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it'll be like 36 minutes, so it's not bad. 10 minutes off of a 45-minute set. But yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably record an album of those jokes plus 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Just to get like some.
Have you ever done an album before? Or?
No.
So this is your first thing ever.
Yeah, my first release ever outside of like fucking TikTok and Twitter and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you talking before the podcast, you said something. You have your own podcast?
Yeah, just the clip.
So what do you guys talk about on there?
Oh, we just talk shit. We talk shit about everybody we know. We talk shit about whatever we're feeling. I mean, dumb stories. It's me and another comedian, Jeremy Johnston. He's so fucking funny, dude. But we just I don't know. We're just like best friends. So it's very. Sometimes I listen back and I'm like, yo, we should have edited most of this out. Like, we're like, fucking Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy.
But yeah, it's fun. It's a cool. Yeah, man. If you like Tuesdays or like whatever, like it's a lot of like stuff like that.
Who's your favorite Cincy comic that you work with? That you've like.
That's hard too,
They
dude.
see.
Mark Shalafu is my favorite joke writer, and I think he's the best comedian overall. But Ran is up there too.
Dude, he's killing it right now.
He's very good. Yeah, he got to work with Mark because I couldn't do it last weekend.
Shoot.
Yeah, it fucking worked out really well, though. I would rather him get, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
than just some fucking guy.
Yeah, some
like,
random.
it would be cool. That's the cool part about Cincinnati, dude, is like, if he can't do something, it's like, oh, here's 4 people that can,
Yeah.
that you should contact. Because it's better if one of us gets it than some fucking other people, you know?
Who's the biggest guy that you've opened for?
Patton Oswalt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. The 2,000 people on a Sunday in Indianapolis, like full theater, super cool, dude. He's like a big influence on me still. Like it's again the same thing, dark and silly, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, just constantly, always has been that. And he's very good at saying fucked up. I mean, that Waffle House joke on his last special, where he calls that character essentially like retarded without saying it,
Yeah.
is crazy. Like
need
he
to listen
says
to
it. He says it like, I mean, he says like 9 different analogies that are just saying that without saying it. And
Dude,
it's like
that's
you're
amazing.
very
I need to work on
very
that.
smart
Yeah.
shit. Like it's man. I mean, because saying like I don't really like try. I just said it right now.
Yeah.
But because I'm to implement explain the joke. But yeah, man. I mean, it's so much funnier to work around it because you're like, now at this point. Because if you say it, you're gonna turn off a third of the people.
Yeah.
Which whatever is fine if you want to do that.
Yeah. I've had people walk out.
Yeah,
before.
man, it sucks. It's and when I started, I was doing that too. I was saying like, just a lot of.
How was your comedy in the beginning?
Oh, it was like super edgy, just talking about fucked up things. I mean, it's because I've come from the same things that you like.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, man. I mean, I was only doing like abortion jokes and
Dude,
stuff about
really
heroin.
quick, shout out to whoever that one. Who was that comic that was at the feedback mic that did that abortion?
Oh, Mike Frank.
Dude,
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was such a good concept idea for a joke.
It's very funny. It's very funny.
Oh my god,
Mike Frank used to be a Columbus guy.
Oh really?
Yeah, he was a Columbus guy he's been doing it longer than I have, man.
Oh shit.
But he's got a lot of funny written jokes, dude. My favorite joke, his new joke, is it's so funny. It's about he's driving the other day and he saw a bumper sticker that says "I love a person with Down syndrome," which is great, but you can't have the opposite of that. You can't have "I love a person without Down syndrome," like,
Dude.
which is so.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
it's such a funny joke. So good.
Because that's definitely he's working on like the absurdity.
Yeah,
of,
man.
Like
It's that silly shit.
yeah, it's just so yeah. It's what is so how do you go about your writing process? Because when I was at the feedback mic, you guys were just fucking firing shit off, and I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah. Well, that helps. I mean, that helps. That mic helps with like riffing because you're like essentially riffing on somebody else's joke, right? So that helps you on stage because then eventually when you get put in that situation, then you're just like, okay, boom, 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 joke. But I write every day. I write for like an hour at least, or hey, sometimes an hour takes 4 hours. You know what I mean, to get an hour's worth of work done. But I do that every day, and then or if I miss a day, I'll do 2. So like today I didn't do anything, so tomorrow will be mostly writing. Okay. It's fucking brutal. It sucks, but and most of the writing sucks. Like most of the fucking shit that you get down on paper sucks, but a lot of it will lead to something else.
Shout out to Simon Fraser. When I talked to him about he was talking about the same thing. He says that whenever he writes down a new set, he will literally write an entire hour, and then he does that all the time. And then if you get 5 minutes of fire material, 10 minutes of material, and then the rest is trash, you have 15 minutes right there. You just do that 100 times, and now you have
right. Yeah, I write. My goal every week is 1 minute of good
new material,
killer stand-up comedy.
Damn.
If I can get that every week, it's 52 weeks, it's an hour.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Are you planning on doing another, do you already have in the works or in your mind another special or anything that you are thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm already trying to rewrite. Tonight I'm supposed to do 30, and probably 10 of it is new. I don't know if it'll all work.
Oh, shoot.
But it's you know what I mean? It's stuff that has been working. So it's we'll see. It's not fucking most of the... Yeah, I'll do some stuff off the special, and then I'll fucking do a bunch of new shit, and then I'll close with something strong and fucking get out of there.
Dude, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So you are the runner of that Go Bananas Mike?
Yeah. It's it all...
Did you inherit it or something?
Sort of. It was it used to be on Wednesdays before the Pro-Am.
Okay.
But then, so that was when I started, it was Shalafu who was running it, Mark Shalafu, who I talked about before. And then it went to Chris Weir, and then nobody wanted it. And I was running a mic on Tuesdays at that bar next door to Go Bananas.
Okay.
And it sucked. It was before that the change. It used to be called McLeavy's, and it was just 3 fucking super drunk assholes, and then all the comics, and then the bartender. You know what I mean? So it just sucked. It was just not fun. So we were like, why don't we just do it inside Bananas? And we started doing that, but it's well, now it's just comics, and we're closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, why don't we just do a feedback mic? And that's how it started. So that's been 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been really beneficial, I think, for everybody. Just to come. I mean, there's been fights there. There's been a lot of shit because people will come and not. A lot of people can't take criticism. Yeah. So it's and I understand you put a lot into a joke or you feel that it is funny, but it's I mean, don't come to a thing for feedback if you don't.
If you're gonna fucking get salty,
right? But we're not even saying and I try to specifically be that. This isn't bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Even with my joke, you were always you were.
But there isn't. It wasn't I legit. I wasn't even lying to you. It wasn't bad. I wasn't doing the pity. It's not bad. It isn't bad. It wasn't a bad idea. It was very interesting, and I hadn't even heard about that. What was it? It was invisible agents. I mean, that's so funny. Yeah, it's so silly already.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. I mean, that wasn't bad. I try to find the good, and sometimes it's unless you're just being fucking piece of shit, you know what I mean? Where you're just being a shitty old racist hack or something where it's so blatant.
Yeah.
If you're talking about race, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's you just if you're being shitty, then it's okay, dude. You can't. It's not gonna go good.
Yeah.
That's how I try to even approach that. It's hey man, this isn't gonna go good.
Yeah.
Exactly. Why would you? He's yeah, but I wanna. It's all right. Say it, dude.
I was gonna say because it's that joke is one of those weird things that's sometimes it gets the whole crowd and sometimes it doesn't, and then I'm just you know what I mean,
but you might. It also might be a time, you just might need to fucking give it some space, because we're still in it. Yeah, I mean we're still in this and there is and you're in Columbus, which doesn't help. You know what I mean? Like, you're not, it's a very, very woke city. But there is a lot of younger comics that are not against it, but they are doing stand-up, like the way you should do stand-up, right? Like Shayna and Halima, and like there's Shayna, a lot of fucking, there's a lot of younger comics that are like actually doing it, and it's good. You can be woke and not be like not funny. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you could be woke in a regular way, where we're like not hyper. Yeah, like where everything is offensive and whatever. You know, like your joke's not offensive. Yeah. If somebody thinks that's offensive, then they're dumb. Yeah. They're like a dumb person. Yeah.
Zoom. Hell yeah, dude.
Are you fucking alive?
Dude, I'm fucking good now. Yeah. Dude, I got so fucked up at karaoke last night. Oh my God, it was just...
You fucking basic bitch. I got so fucked up at karaoke last night. Well, I couldn't even go to Target this morning. I'm such a fucking drunk bitch. Here's the deal.
I was telling EJ today that, like, so the reason I went is it was actually kind of like a selfish reason, because I was like, I've been feeling like real down recently, just like I'm bad at getting laid. Like I literally can open every door in the universe, but like I cannot close. Like for some odd reason, they can hand me the ball, and I just fumble. So I literally just went, and I was just like, oh, we'll see how many people, like, how hot am I? And then there's like just girls, coming up to me, and I was like, dude, okay, I feel better now. But I just got way too.
Did you get laid?
No. The moral of the story is that I don't get laid. Yeah.
Well, what do you think the problem is? Is it your personality? Is it you get too fucked up?
No, typically it's like I'm completely sober when I fuck it up. So it's like a part of the issue. And then the other half of it, I don't know.
What is the other half of it?
I don't know. I feel like it's like I said, it's like one of those things where it's I can get them to like get to my place. I can even like get them in my room. But for some odd reason, I like fail. I just like,
is it just because are you just going for like one night stands, or are you trying to fucking date somebody?
I think that might be. See, I think that's what it is. I think it might be. I'm like not trying to go for like the one night stand. So it's like every time I'm just like, ugh.
Well, yeah, man, that's the problem. You're trying to fuck a lady like on one night, but you want a relationship, and it probably comes across that you want a relationship, and she's like, I don't know.
Well, and that's not the thing. Like and when I say like I fail, it's not like they're calling it off. It's like I fucking just like like there was like, for example, there was like one time I was hanging out, and there was this girl and we were hanging out, and she was pretty drunk. I wasn't that drunk. She was pretty drunk. And
is this gonna be like a real incriminating story?
No.
She was really drunk. I wasn't drunk at all. Anyways,
so she was like, she like started like unbuttoning my shirt, and then I just like froze, and then she went to bed.
Damn, dude. Why'd you freeze?
I don't know.
Man, that's crazy. Are you gay? Are you gay?
Dude, I don't think so. I don't crave dick.
Yeah, but it's not like a fucking White Castle or something. Like, you know, it's not like a craving.
I mean, isn't it though? Like, do you crave pussy?
I don't know if I'm not like,
you get craving. Like thirsty for
you
it.
Get horny.
Yeah.
But craving feels so like, weird.
Hey, man. We
gotta a fucking crave case of pussy.
Yeah, dude. That would fix all my issues.
No, I don't know, man. I think
that's funny.
Also, maybe just, I don't know, you got a lot of anxiety and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Are you on something for it?
No.
Well, then, yeah, dog. That's probably part of the problem.
Way so much weed. That's probably what it is, honestly.
Yeah, man. I had to stop smoking weed because of my anxiety, but I think
that's what I think it might be, honestly.
Well, then that's it.
Who knows?
That's it, dude. What do you mean, who knows? You just said it. You go, yeah, no, this is the problem.
I'm not a doctor.
Anyways, who knows? I don't fucking know, dude. Yeah. Here's the exact issue. I'm not going to fix it, is what you meant. Yeah. You should get on something. That fucking shit has made my life a million times better.
What are you on right now?
Oh, I'm on a bunch of stuff. I'm on like 4 different things. So Wellbutrin, this thing called Remeron, mirtazapine, and then venlafaxine. Those are all antidepressants. And then Klonopin when I have like panic attacks or whatever. But it has made my fucking life infinitely better.
Really?
I don't think about killing myself anymore. I still get down and I still get depressed. I mean, it's not going to fucking fix your life, but yeah, dude, it's like a much healthier. And I kind of thought it might fuck me up like comedy wise, but like once I got like the right combination of shit, it's like, oh, now my mind is actually free enough to think about these things.
How long did it take to get a proper diagnosis and everything?
I mean, dude, I've been having these issues since I was like 13. But once we finally figured out what the cocktail was, it was like, yeah.
So you've been on stuff since 13?
I've been on stuff since I avoided it for so long, but I've been on stuff since I was like 18.
Okay.
But 13 is when I started having all the problems.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like my main thing is I am avoiding it just because like I'm also weary of like, oh shit, like what is it gonna do to me? Because like I remember with my foster mom, her son had ADD, ADHD, whatever, and she was like, you definitely have that. So she like gave me one of the things or whatever, and I like was like zoned out. Like I just like was just chilling
because it wasn't the right thing.
Exactly.
And it also wasn't the right amount.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She just gave you drugs.
Yeah.
Like that's not. Yeah. I mean, like, you gotta have a fucking doctor who knows you.
Yeah.
Like knows what your body type is and whatever. And I mean, like, dude, I had taken other like Paxil and stuff, and it would make me feel like a zombie. And, like I can't do this.
What was the worst one?
Probably Paxil was the worst one, but yeah, that one made me feel just like fucking zonked out. Dude.
So, what is your diagnosis? Just anxiety?
Extreme depression is what he called it. But that's all. Anxiety and depression all come from the same chemical imbalance.
Well, that's like
it's all the same drugs.
That's like the thing that's like so fucked up is like, how do you know if like maybe you're on the spectrum or if you are depressed?
Are you asking me if you're fucking autistic?
Yeah.
Hey man, what do you think?
Yeah. But it's just like because it's like all the same, pieces of the brain that's like fucked, getting fucked with, and so it's like, how do you know who's autistic and who's just an asshole or just like just depressed about their fucking life?
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between. I mean, I think everyone's a little on the spectrum. Probably that's why it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
But I don't. But like the other side of it, like with. Like, are you depressed or anxious? That literally comes to the same imbalance. But are you like sad or depressed is different. Yeah. Right. Because some people are like, oh, I'm depressed. Well, it's like,
and then I've heard that like people who have like ADD or ADHD that goes undiagnosed for so long turns into depression and anxiety.
Yeah, I could see that. So it probably kicks off that weird. Because you guys have, I think, like ADD stuff is a lot of serotonin.
Yeah.
So it's almost like doing drugs, right? So you
is that what it is?
Like, but it's like I could be making
this
up. It's fucking
maybe
the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah, already.
Fucking pull it up, Jamie. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe that is what it is. Like where it turns into, because I'm guessing because like. Alcohol, right? Like it makes that serotonin go up, but then the drop the next day is so hard. But that's why like bipolar people have that so big mania that it turns into depression like super hard because of the serotonin levels.
Yeah, my mom and my sister sisters maybe. I don't know if both of them have it or if they whatever, but they had bipolar. And that's also like one of those things that like it's hard to know. Like what do you have? You know what I mean? Man. Because it's like you could be getting an SSRI and you might need an antidepressant. You know what I mean? It's
and that's the problem. And there's no
and you can't really come off of SSRIs, right? Once you're on them, you're like
you can come off of them. You just have to wean yourself. It's just like because you don't want to fuck up your brain.
Yeah.
But you can't just stop taking them. Yeah. That'll fuck you up super hard. Done that before.
So you from Cincinnati?
Yes.
you've been doing comedy for fucking 8 years. Let's see. When did you start traveling? Like at what point did you say I'm going to start like leaving the city?
My first road week ever was, we were going out of town to do like fucking mics and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like me and the dudes that I came up with were
Yeah.
just like, we drive up here, we drive to fucking Cleveland,
Yeah.
do that open micer shit. But we would, like, the first week I ever did was with Jeff Tate, who's another Cincinnati guy. He like tours with Segura. He's on tour with Segura currently, but he took me to the worst club ever in fucking Myrtle Beach, California. And fuck, dude, I was supposed to do like 30 every night. I was like, I had maybe 10.
Oh,
and
shit.
also the 10 wasn't good. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
So it was just brutal all weekend long.
When did you start like booking shows and stuff? Like, or when did you start getting shows?
When did I start getting shows?
Yeah, like how far in?
Like bar shows and shit?
Yeah, just like
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 regular-
book shows or whatever. Just like
my
paid.
first host weekend was 2 years in
Okay.
at Bananas for Tate.
That must be really nice
It was
to have a
is
fucking
nice, but that's
club right there.
Yeah, and that's also that's a long time. It took a long time to get that. Yeah, I mean, some people got them like a year in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it just took me a little longer to take the edginess shit off. You know what I mean? I had to like to tone it back a little bit, as I was talking about. Just fuck, you can't start a show and be like abortion and fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't do it.
Yeah. So the Pro-Am mic, what's that all about? Because I haven't been, and I don't. I'm not exactly privy to how it works and whatnot.
You just email and like try to pick a couple days, and I mean, if you live in the city, you gotta bring 5 people to get on stage, but you don't live in Cincinnati, so yeah, you just email. They'll give you a date, and then you come. It's just an open mic.
Yeah,
but you just have the email to get on.
Okay,
that's all it is.
Hell yeah.
It's not bad. I mean, some people, like the newer people, bring most of the crowd, so they're kind of dumb most of the time, but they're usually wanting to have fun. You know?
That's the one thing that you always find is that like whenever someone does stand up for the first time or whatever, all the friends come out and then they just
it's
stop.
brutal. It's brutal. Or like, you know, we'll get like right now we're getting a lot of people who lost fantasy football drafts, and that's usually the time where the loser, like the person who got last place, has to do something like stand-up comedy. Yeah, so it's super fun that their losing bet is our dream. But but yeah, it is fun to watch them go up and like fucking eat a dick, and they'll always bring their fucking bro ass friends. And that's fun. Like this Wednesday there was a bunch of fucking bro ass dudes in the club. It was like, fantasy football loser.
That's what we were talking about with the last guy. He was talking. We talked.
Who'd you talk to?
Jesse Pimpinella.
Oh yeah,
you know?
dude.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I do know Jesse. I'll tell you later.
Hell yeah. He was telling me that like that's like the number one thing that everyone says, like, oh, I could do that. Like, I could do stand up.
Well, when you watch Jesse do it, I can see why. But but no, it is like that, dude. Because it's one of those things that everybody thinks they're funny. Everybody thinks they can go up, and everybody sees a good comic go up and fucking destroy with ease.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
we could do that.
Yeah, I could do that. And
dude.
It's like, oh, it just seems like he's talking. It's like, no, dude. It took fucking hours to make it seem, like years to make it seem like I'm fucking just talking.
Well, and that's the other thing too, that when I started, like you lose, if you are actually serious about the craft, you will learn a lot of things very quickly. Like one of the things that I learned is that like I work at the Funny Bone, so it's like if I see comics all the time that are doing shit and they are like talking about bullshit. And they're fucking murdering, or they're not saying shit that's funny, and they're just murdering. And then you're just like, oh, these people came here to see them. So it just looks very easy because these people are Yeah.
When you have an audience, it doesn't matter anymore. You don't have to be funny.
Yeah.
You can just say things in the way that you say things, and then it's over.
Like Theo Von's special.
Yeah.
I love Theo Von.
I like him a lot as well.
But his last special, like, I have not even seen any of his other stuff. Like, I've seen him, like, do stand-up and stuff, but, like, is that his first special ever?
I think it's his first special.
Okay. But I've seen him in, like, with videos of, 200, plus people, and everything, and he's fine. Maybe he was just nervous or whatever, but I just felt like it wasn't strong. Like, I felt like he was a lot of pacing.
But his jokes aren't strong.
Okay.
Like, I think that's what you're sensing, is that because he is a personality-driven comic.
Yeah.
And,
there's a lot of thank gods and praise the lords in there.
Yeah, dude, it's all personality-driven. And he is very funny.
Yeah.
Like, he's as hilarious. A person is very funny. But, yeah, man, it's because when you go to a special, though, the jokes, he's very much like in the room, you're like, oh, yeah he's fucking ripping. He has one joke that I love. It's his opener, I'm pretty sure. So my friend got bitten by a gay guy. Recently.
Oh, yes.
So I guess we'll see. Like, it's just that's so fucking funny.
It's so good.
Such a good joke, but like, I don't know, man. Yeah. Outside of that, it's like, yo, what?
he did have another one in there that was that I thought was pretty good. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but yeah, that was like, and that's like why I brought up Shane Gillis' special earlier, because I have like. And like I said, it all just depends. Like, you have like a different opinion on like that special. Like, I thought it was great. Like, I thought like the first half of it
that 30 minutes, dude, is fucking like. I thought it was like so. I'm sorry to cut you off. I thought it was so tight and like.
Dang.
I thought that first 30 minutes was like very tight. Like where because the jokes are like fucking. You could tell have just been hammered.
Yeah.
He's been doing that shit.
I thought in my opinion, I thought the second half was. Like way stronger than like the first half.
Damn, really?
Yeah,
that's crazy, man.
Because like as soon as he starts talking about his dad, I was like, oh shit, like he's fucking killing it right now.
But that's in the first half.
Wait, was it that first half?
Yeah, dude, that's like in the first that's after the first like 10 minutes. Because he does that 10 minutes because he opens on that haircut joke and then he does like 10.
When did the music?
That was in the second half.
Oh, okay. So I lied.
That was yeah. I think you are thinking of the first half, which was all just joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. That's when it was super solid. Like because that
Start
set is
talking
also
about his sister and
that was later. That was in the second half.
Oh, was it?
Sister was second half.
Oh,
because the music happened. He was like, I'm trying to get deep about my sister right now. Like
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The whole special is pretty fucking short, dog. It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, that Alabama joke's in the first half about the trans people just needing to have a football team that beats Alabama to get rights. That's so funny. That's such a good joke. The Trump stuff was in, I believe, like the transition between the first half and the second half, which is also very funny.
My favorite jokes were the sister heroin addict talking about taking her to the fucking park.
Yeah, dude. The Six Flags.
Oh my god. Dude. That guy, I was like, dude, this guy fucking is a killer.
Yeah. He's a monster, man.
I just really wish it was like a big special. I would like to see him in front of like 10,000 people or something.
Fuck that, dude. I think it's better when it's not.
Oh, really?
That's more that's like a real. He was probably in front of like 200, 300 people.
It's actually special now.
Well, it's like, I don't know, man. Like theaters and shit. It's like, yeah, it's cool. But in front of 200, 300 people is like perfect. Because that's a comedy club size audience.
Yeah.
You're getting the waves of reaction. And yeah, man, I don't know. It just feels like reality.
Do you find that doing comedy in front of more people is easier or harder for you? Because I felt, at least coming from like a theater background, something that I noticed was that like I could lose myself a little bit more in the audience if I had a bigger crowd.
Yeah.
But if I have like a smaller crowd, it's like, oh shit, like it's undeniably everybody's watching you, like judging you, you know what I mean? Where it's like if there's so many people, you just like can't tell.
Yeah, smaller crowd's easier to be loose in, I think. But a bigger crowd is easier if you want to just hammer your fucking material.
Okay.
And just go up and do an act. It's so much easier.
It's like you can probably get one person in the crowd, you know, with a joke. You know what I mean? If you can get one, then it could create a chain reaction.
Also, I mean, like, dude, if you're in front of, like, you know, I don't know. Sometimes, like, I did the early show at Bananas last Friday. Sucked, and it was the biggest crowd we had. It was 100 people that were, I mean, they were awful to the servers. They were just awful. Like, they came to be not fun. So that rarely happens, but usually you get like 150, 200 people in a room. It's pretty fucking easy to just go up and fucking destroy because you have the jokes. You already know, like.
So, you just got over COVID recently, right?
Yeah.
How did that, what was that experience like? Cause I don't know if I've ever actually had COVID.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, I got vaxxed. I've been like, vaxxed 3 times, so it wasn't really that terrible. My fiance found out she had it. She was sick for like 12 hours.
Oh shoot!
And then that's it.
Like nothing.
Yeah, nothing. And then, but then I got sick. I was sick for like 3 or 4 days.
Did you lose any smell or anything?
Yeah, I lost taste and smell. Fuck. But it's really not that. It wasn't that
bad.
Is it back? The taste is back. The smell is still a little. Like, I can smell strong. Like, when you hit that weed, I was like, I smell that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I also, like, I don't know if that's my brain knowing from years of doing drugs what good weed smells like. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to tell. Like, maybe I'm tasting stuff because I know I eat the same 5 things every day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Fucking McRibs and...
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know what it is. Like, you know what it tastes like. So, it's, it wasn't great. I'm not happy I got it. Yeah. But, yeah.
Who'd you go for the shots?
Pfizer, dude.
Pfizer?
Yeah,
Pfizer. Pfizer team.
Dude. I mean, they
team
never.
Pfizer?
Yeah, they never. I think that shit's so fucking dumb.
Isn't
dude.
it?
I hate it so
It was
much.
like, it was almost
so
like,
dorky.
When, I don't know if you ever played Pokemon Go at all. So it was almost like when they started doing the team red, team yellow, team blue stuff. You're just like,
dude, we're fucking adults.
Yeah, dude, we're just fucking swiping our phones and complaining, oh, this guy's fucking blue team, he's dumb.
But it's also like team Pfizer, and it's like, hey, 300 at that point, like 300,000 people died. Shut up. Like, oh, I got my Fauci ouchie. It's like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I hope you die. I hope you catch it and die.
Oh,
like,
shit.
I hate that Fauci ouchie shit. Is so cringy to me,
dude.
Like, it's so bad. Like, that's the problem. I mean, Democrats are gonna get destroyed in 2022 because they're such fucking nerds. Like, it's all you have to do is just a little bit, and they're like, nah, dude.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do anything.
It's crazy because I think, and this is like coming from someone who grew up in a smaller town and then moved to like Columbus, which is, I feel like, from what I'm hearing, is like as woke as you can get, like over here.
In the Midwest.
Yeah. So it's like, it's very interesting to me because I feel like the main like concerns that the woke people have and like the concerns that like the rural people have is just that there's like a different understanding of like work ethic or something, because like I feel like I run into so many people who like are in rural towns where you have to do everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you don't have an apartment building where it's like, we need to hire a janitor team to, clean out all these apartments and everything. So it's like, there's so much convenience in the city that like, you don't have to work for stuff as hard.
Yeah, there is in the city. In some aspects.
For sure.
But some other things are harder. You know what I mean? Like there's not as many doctors. There's not as many hospitals. There's not as many. Things that
for sure.
Because you need.
If you're a small town, you only need like 2 or 3 doctors. And your town's good.
Right, and until a pandemic hits, you're like fuck. But I don't know. I think. The problem is the culture war, right? Like, we talk about woke people. It's like, I'm super progressive. Like politically, if you ask me my opinions, it's like very much on the left side of things. But like these people are that are doing things performatively or whatever, it's ruining because they're eating their own. Like, I mean, it happens in Columbus a lot. There's a lot of a lot of bad comedians in Columbus that just focus on the politics of this culture war shit.
Yeah.
When really they should write a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like,
I really hate. Yeah, I really hate when a comedian is, and this is like, and it's like literally like the antithesis of like the type of like joke, like the invisible Asian joke. It's like you, in my opinion, you should talk about everything. You should try to bring it into light. I mean, for God's sakes, Louis C.K. says the N-word in one of his jokes. It's like you just have to figure out how to make it, you know, where it's gonna work.
Silly, yeah. It's tough, man. It's like, and everybody is so team oriented, right? And they're so what is it called when you're just like so tribal, like right? That right now that it's hard to talk about anything. Like it's hard to talk about either protest, like the BLM protests or whatever, or the like lockdown protests, right? Without being like feeling like you're like, oh God, like, you know, it's hard to make things like that silly, because I mean, and it is like I went to BLM protests, and I believe in a lot of the stuff that they are saying, and I think it was good, but it's also like there's funny things about it too. You know what I mean? Like, and there's like,
well, that's what I was telling everybody when I went one day, and the thing that freaked me out the most was that like there's talk about like the pandemic, and it was like, and I like when I was there, too. I was like, dude, like no one is safe.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Everyone's just like
it was
body to body, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, man. It was.
And then on top of that, everyone's starting to get shot, and I'm like,
man,
what the fuck's happening?
And
I was like,
cops are surrounding you, and you're fucking like, we're in the middle of a pandemic. You're like, fuck, dude, we're fucked.
They're just trying to up the COVID numbers. So
yeah,
just,
man.
just take them out.
Right. Yeah.
COVID.
It sucks, man. It's like this whole thing should have brought like the whole country together, and it's like further divided it, and it's like, dude, we're like on the precipice of like a fucking civil war, and then we're like, yeah, let's do stand up.
Yeah. And the problem is that like the thing that's like causing the most issues is like, I feel like causing the most issues for comedians, because it's like because I guess experts like scientists and stuff like that, because it's like you don't get that in music. Like no one does like dubstep, and everyone's like you have people that's like dubstep sucks.
They only get it in music, like politically, if you make yourself
like that,
right? You know, if you come out and like Dave Grohl doesn't have a fucking problem with anybody like who likes the Foo Fighters, because he doesn't ever say what his political affiliation is. I'm sure if you read into anything he said, I'm sure you probably know what he is
into.
Yeah, but I also think like he doesn't outwardly come out and say it. And people will also dog him for that though too. They'll be like, "Oh, you're not using your platform to whatever." Yeah. And it's like, why does he have to do? Why does anybody have to do that?
It's like, why did like, and I feel like the message part that everyone's trying to get to, the thing that like all these like, you know, whatever you want to call them, like liberal, whatever, this like these weird comics that are just going up and trying to spread a message. It's like that, in my opinion, that comes at the end. Like that's when the joke is finished. You need to if you want to try to add a message to the joke, you need to tie it in with the joke. I don't want to sit here and learn about climate change. I want you to make a joke about climate change, and if I leave the show learning something about climate change, then I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I didn't know that.
I fully agree. I fully agree with that. That's what I've said to so many people, like at the feedback mic, like, hey, if you want to have the message, that's great, but the joke is gonna change more people's minds than you yelling at them about it. Yeah, because you yelling at them about it is just the news. Exactly. And that sucks.
Like you yelling at me to like, you know, clean my room or to not say that, it's just gonna make me want to like say that more. But if you can like do a story or a joke that's like, oh, this is why we shouldn't do that, and it's like, and it makes sense and it's funny, I'm like, oh shit, That like makes sense. You know what I mean? Like maybe.
But you can't be that comic anymore either. Like you can't be Bill Hicks or George Carlin or whatever because it's been fucking done, and they're still talking about the same fucking problems that they were talking about. So it's already done, and also there's Twitter. Like you can put your fucking message out on Twitter. You know what I mean? Like I've put stuff out on Twitter. Most of the time I do not do this, but if I get pissed off about something, I will say my opinion on it and just put it on Twitter and leave it at that.
My problem is I've done that on Facebook, and
dude,
Facebook gets fucked.
Yeah,
I get fucked up.
You can't have a nuanced opinion on Twitter either. You know what I mean? But like everything has to be the extreme of like either side, and it's hard to be in the middle of the. I don't know. Like you shouldn't be in the middle of some things. Like an unarmed black person getting killed by the cops. It's like you shouldn't be in the middle of that. It's got to fucking pick a side. Yeah, which is fine. And you shouldn't. It's not really like it's like why would it? You know. Yeah. It's either right or wrong. Like, but everything else is like pretty. You can be in the middle of and be like, well, both you guys are both making bad points. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like. When people like bring up like trans stuff, it's like, why do you guys care? Yeah. Who cares? Exactly. Like if you just let these people live, none of this would be a problem. Exactly. Like why do you they shouldn't be getting murdered. And also, why do you give a fuck what they are doing? Yeah. Like it doesn't
it's like I just want us to be at a spot because it's like they talk about like this, like you shouldn't make jokes because of like power or whatever. It's like, but if you want to play with if you want to be like a group of people that is, you know what I mean? You have to be able to play with the big dogs. If you're going to be able to point at like a white guy or an Indian guy and can say something about him, like you should be like, as long as it's not hateful, like as long as someone's like, you know, trying to beat you up or something or like actively just like misgendering you, like to make you angry. It's like, that's like a problem. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think like also though, like I watched like Chappelle's last special and it wasn't great. Like it just wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like, it was. Fun.
We have different. We have like all sorts of different opinions. Because I felt because I'll agree, and this is like what I was trying to bring up with like Shane Gillis' special, but like it is a good special. But like Theo Von's special, I feel like specials are like losing their like magic. At least maybe I'm not watching enough and I'm just like not seeing all the good ones, but I just feel like
no, I think you're right.
It's like I feel like it's not like I said like before Aziz Ansari or Daniel Tosh. Like it just like felt like it was like fucking fire. I mean,
it was shoved down your throat too.
Yeah, true. It was Comedy Central
on Comedy Central. Yeah. You know, so you're like, whoa, and you'd watch somebody's special several times. Yeah. Like, so now it's not, though. Now it's an option. Yeah. So you go to watch it, and you're taking time out of your day, and it's not displayed in front of you, like, you know, forced down your throat. But, like, I mean, there's a difference. Like, okay, nobody got mad at Shane for his trans joke.
What was his trans joke?
About how he had made the same thing about how in Alabama, they didn't, like, black people didn't get full rights until whatever when this black team beat Alabama. At football. So the joke was, he's like, so really, if trans people just got it together and one day beat Alabama football, you know what I mean? Like that's the quickest way to get to rights.
That's such a good joke. And he also did a skit too. Didn't they do a skit that was somewhat like that, where it was like they had one black guy come on the team, and then they just started like making points, and then it was like eventually the entire team was just black kids, and it's just like.
And see, like, this is the problem, right? Like, that joke is so good, and nobody got mad at him for it. No trans person got mad at him for it. Because it was funny. Yeah. Like, Dave's special felt like he was just talking. And it was like, motherfucker, this is not, like...
A little too much more on the message
side. It just felt like a message. And it was like, but the message was dumb. It's like, who gives a... Why do you care? Yeah. Why do you go... You're fucking... You're so rich.
I think at least from my perspective... At least what I thought I saw him doing was like it is annoying to watch him talk about the stuff like for like 3 specials in a row, but at least from like the angle that like I'm looking at it from, it almost is just seeming like what I was just saying earlier. Like if you want to be, you know, a group, you need to, like, if a black guy can take, you know, a joke like that's directed at him and he has to like live with it, you know what I mean? But is the joke good? Yeah, well, yeah, right? Well, that, and there's, you know, there's that scale, right. But it's like no one can go to jail for making like a black joke.
No, for sure, absolutely.
But we're getting closer to, like, you know, if you misgender somebody, you know, you're gonna get like fined or whatever. It's like we're not doing that, but like that's like the push. You know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah, I guess the problem is like, okay, like the first special where he did the trans story, it didn't really hit me that it was bad or whatever. I thought it was just a story, and then the backlash happened, and I was like, oh, they're mad, okay. And then I thought the second time when he addressed the backlash of it and sort of was like, I wasn't trying to, this is what happened, whatever. And I thought that was like, oh, okay, like that's nice, like that's cool.
Yeah.
And they got mad again, and I was like, that should be the end though. Like that you address the controversy. What else is there to address, right? Yeah. Like you did a bit about the bit. Yeah. Like it's over, dude. Like you did it.
He's doing a bit, and then he did it about the bit.
But then he did like 35 to 45 minutes about it. And it's like, who cares, dude? Like
fucking Gary Owen. We had him come to the Funny Bone, and a bunch of people were mad because he is like getting divorced or something like that. I think
really?
Like his girlfriend's I think he was cheating or something. But regardless, he went up and he did like I think it was like the normal like hour and a half or whatever it was. But the first hour that he did was like the exact same material that like he had been like all of his previous stuff. Yeah. And then only 30 minutes of it was new. So everybody that came was just like so upset. They're just like, dude, you're just talking about everything that you've talked about before. And it's just interesting to me because Dave Chappelle is so good. I'm wondering if he thinks he's doing something. You know what I mean?
I think he thinks that that special was good when it was like kind of fucking boring. And the jokes.
I guess. I guess my question to you is like, do you think that he is putting out that special saying it's good because he thinks it's like hilarious, or do you think it's because he's more switching to like the message thing where he's like, it's a good, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah.
It's like, because he's good, but it's like, you know, if you're gonna do a special and that's all you're gonna talk about on your specials,
it's hard to like.
Because does he do lots of like trans material like on stage like normally?
I mean, I guess so. I guess he has to have been because he did a fucking whole special.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm trying to like like
the thing is like this in the summer months when all that stuff was like getting put out that he was doing on stage. It was about like the protests and whatever.
Yeah.
And people were like real behind it because it was like it felt like he captured some moment, you know, and it was. And yeah, I guess like you're not gonna do that on your special because the moment's passed, right? Yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. It just felt like it's like I guess I don't really care. Like if a trans person gets mad at Dave Chappelle for making those jokes, that's totally within their right to get mad about. That's fine.
Yeah.
And Dave Chappelle can make those jokes, and I can have my opinion that I think that they were fucking whack. And I thought the special fucking sucked. Mm-hmm. But like even like that Space Jews thing was like, that's the joke you made, dude? That's the joke Dave Chappelle made? Like, that's a fucking open micer like kind of like level of joke, you know?
It's salty too, because I was talking to one of the other guys I did a podcast with, and I was telling him that like that joke premise is like something that I think about like for real. Like it's like when I'm high, I'm like, dude, like yeah, it is like, you know, it can be funny or whatever, but like I just feel like that to me is much more of like an interesting type of like topic to like, you know, shoot around and talk shit about. But it's like, yeah, it was an interesting special.
Yeah, it was just, it's just like, man, Oh, we're getting lit, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we got the fucking light. That rules.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, they should bring the light into every podcast. Dude. That is sick. I love that. Dude. That is so good, dude. Holy fuck. That's so great.
Dude, yeah. We try to, yeah. I've been paying attention to a lot of podcasts. Like Joe, obviously, the setup, you can tell it's like Joe Rogan specific, inspired or whatever. Right. But like the one thing that I've noticed is that, and the reason why I like his podcast so much is not necessarily like his views or whatever. It's like the fact that he brings on interesting people. Yeah. And that like, I like the setup and everything. I don't like, how is your guys' setup? Is your guys' setup like
our setup is
couch,
and we have like 3 different camera angles. It's sort of like this, but we are facing this way.
Okay.
So, it's essentially like this. We'd have like our logo right there on this screen. And then, it's basically this, but just on a couch.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's...
I don't know what it is about my brain that thinks that like the table, like sitting across from each other.
Well, you're looking at your guest, and it's I do think it's good. I think for us, it's just us, and we don't have guests.
You guys are just okay.
So
you guys
we're
are just
fucking around, and it's like
maybe that's the difference.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it, because like Andrew Schultz podcast, I love that podcast, but like again, like I would never do that style.
Right.
I don't think. I mean, I might like if it's not like this style where it's like interviewing people, but if it was just like, you know. If it's like somebody that like I did a podcast with and it went really hot and we're just like, yo, let's like just do like a shoot the shit, you know, Chris DiStefano or whatever. And,
Chris
and Sal or whatever. Yeah.
Chrissy D, dude, he's so funny.
Dude, yeah. I'm so sad that History Hyenas is not, dude, they were just like nuts.
Yeah, man. They're fucking crazy. They're wild boys.
Have you ever gotten a joke? This is just like a weird segue. We were talking about it a little bit, but have you ever gotten a joke that's gotten like a lot of backlash?
Yeah, I've been like the Blaze. Do you remember the Blaze? Like Glenn Beck's website. Like Tommy Loren started there. Well, a bunch of people from their website tried to cancel me for a
what? For
joke
what?
I did about Tucker Carlson. So
what was the joke?
Is that I do it in my act. Is that it's like in this like Twitter thing, but I think that Tucker Carlson looks like he builds model trains that all go to Auschwitz, which is just like a silly. It's like a roast. It's just a roast joke.
Oh,
it has
my
nothing
God,
really
dude.
to do with anything. It's just a roast joke that I wrote. I wrote that about nobody, and then I was like, who should this be about? And then I was like, oh, Tucker Carlson. That's funny. And then, so I just plugged his name into it. And, they got real fucking mad about that. That's funny. People have gotten really mad at me about jokes online.
How do you deal with it normally? Do you just not read them? Or do you respond? Like, what is your tactic?
I don't know. Like, that time, I just let it go because I had faith in the joke. Like, the joke was a, like, well-written joke. So I was like, oh, that's, like... good.
Yeah.
And people also liked it. So there was like people that loved it, and these people were like, this guy's a piece of shit.
Dude,
it's like,
I had a joke like that, and I try to be careful with the jokes that I post online now because of the last joke that I got fucking shit for.
What was it?
It was a trans joke. It was I said it was 4th of July, and I said, what does the Revolutionary War and the trans movement have in common? And I said they both had men in wigs fighting for their rights. And I used the word men, and people were upset. And they said, literally, if you just said the word person, like, we would be way less than that. And I was just like...
And it is like that.
I felt like it was a good joke. I felt like as I would
think that would be the note. Person. If you said, it's just people in wigs trying to fight for their rights. Like, that is...
Yeah.
That's a funny thing to say.
Yeah, and dude, man, I posted it on Twitter, but I was like, I don't have a lot of Twitter followers, so I'm gonna like cross post it on fucking Facebook, and like left for like an hour, and you get like fucking 50 comments, and you're just like, woo, this is
Did you delete it?
Nope.
Oh, see.
Yeah, I'm not.
Fuck that. I delete. Dude, I delete.
Do you?
Delete tweets all the time. I delete tweets that Like if I don't think that the joke, like if I'm getting a lot of shit for a joke, and
did you delete the Tucker Carlson one?
No, absolutely not. I didn't delete the Tucker Carlson because I have fucking full faith. I knew when I tweeted it out that that's a good joke.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
and it's like definitely like a roast joke. That's not
it's
like
just a roast
you're
joke.
not gonna.
And I literally like it didn't have a name when I wrote the joke.
Yeah.
It was just like, I think this person looks like they build model trains that all go to Auschwitz. Model trains that go to Auschwitz is a wild. It's just
that's so crazy.
Right? It's just silly.
Oh,
you know what
shoot!
I mean? So it's so dumb. But yeah, I was like, who could this be about? Oh, Tucker. Like that's funny. But yeah, man. Like I don't know. I've deleted jokes that I thought were. Like, I will leave a joke up for like 2 minutes and be like, that kind of sucks, and then I'll delete it. I deleted fucking 5 jokes today. I tweeted out 5 things. I deleted all of them. Damn. I was like, well, it's just not. They're just not what I want them to be, you know. And I'll put them back in the drafts.
See, I'm wondering if like, I think that would be dope. I mean, I guess you can kind of do that with like your Facebook post or whatever. But like, it would be kind of cool if like you could do, because they always say if you delete something it's like never gone off the internet.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if like there was a way that like if you did make a joke that was like, you know, like bad or whatever, you just make it private, and you know, and it's like, and then nobody else gets to see it, and then it's still there for you, but it's like,
I guess like I just am so writer mindset that like I just throw out whatever I'm thinking about, and then if it sucks, then it's like I don't get my feelings hurt.
I think that's my issue, is that I literally do not write enough like material that's even good. So it's like every time I write something, I'm like, I got.
Well, dog. I mean that never goes away though either. That feeling never stops because you're like, why do you think I work so hard? Because I mean I've listened to Tommy Johnigan on a podcast one time say that somebody told him they were writing an hour a day, and he goes, well, that guy's funny, but I feel not funny, so I should write 2 hours a day. And that was like, oh, like it was like, okay, I don't feel funny, so I should work as hard as I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, and I know that I'm funny, but it's like, you don't feel that most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel funny most of the time, you're a psycho.
Yeah.
You're a fucking psycho.
Yeah. I was going to say, one of the people that I always feel like gives me a good, like a bouncing board is Halima.
Yeah.
I feel like Halima, like she's honest. She'll just be like, yeah, I think you're funnier than that. Like she won't even tell you the joke's bad. She's just like, I think you're funnier than that.
Yeah, man.
And I'm just like,
you write a joke that's below you.
And dude, and like that, like coming from her, I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I respect her so much.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
I watched her do the Kill Tony thing that she did, and like I thought she did amazing. She thinks otherwise, but dude, and then also just like learning about her, like I can't wait to have her on, because like, did you know her when she first started?
Sort of. Did she start during the pandemic?
Maybe a little earlier.
Okay, because I didn't know her right away, but then I met her when Go Bananas was having outside.
I heard that she started with a hijab.
Oh, really?
She was doing Hitler jokes.
Oh, yeah.
And her like.
That's funny,
dude.
That's what do that now.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, why did that go away?
Is she Muslim?
Used to be, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, that's probably why. Because she doesn't really believe.
Yeah, but as a comedian though, like she should have immediately saw the irony in doing 9/11 jokes in a hijab.
Yeah. That I think it is. I think, but also like if you used to be a devout Muslim and now you're not, it's like it's a lot to put on.
Yeah.
Because there's like a symbolism with it. You're like, boy, this is like a it can't just be a bit where you're like, oh fuck.
Just put it on right before you get on
stage. Right. Yeah. Like it seems like it would be hard to like reckon with that personally.
Yeah.
And she's like a pretty authentic person, so it's like fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like that would be real hard to
Yeah. She's dude, I love her so much. She was high as fuck the last time I saw her. She was just like, we were talking to Tucker. He's like one of the hosts of the open mic at Shrunken Head on Monday, and he was telling us about how he's leaving because there's like bar ownership changing and he just wants to get out. So he was just like, yeah, I'm getting out, and was like, why are you getting out? Like blah blah blah, and I just made a comment. It's like, oh, his diabetes is kicking in because all night, I don't know why. I mean, he doesn't really look fat, but like all night, people are just making fun of him, like being fat.
For being fat.
And so I was like, oh, I'll do that. And then Halima was just like, ha, saying stuff without thinking is funny. And I was like, oh shit, was that funny actually, or or are you shitting on me right now?
That's fun.
I was just like, yeah, dude, I love when she like loosens up and gets lit because she is a good time. So, and she's like really fucking fire at like doing all these shows. Like you got a show tonight at fucking Juniors. I mean, this won't be up tonight, but like, but I mean, that's probably where. That's where it's at, right? Juniors?
Yeah, Juniors. Yeah. Is it cool? I've never been there before.
Yeah, as I say, it's a weird room. It's a low ceiling. So
that's good.
Well, yeah, you'll see. It's like when I say low ceiling, it's like not like go bananas low. It's like you're standing up and the ceiling is like kind of like. Yeah, maybe I'm
Is it upstairs?
Downstairs.
It's downstairs.
It's in the basement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the basement.
Yeah.
Basement shows the rules.
Yeah. So, but it's a really dope place. Fucking, she's fucking killing it, dude. She's
and Shayna, dude. Shayna's killing it too. She's doing fucking really good.
I know. I always every time she comes up, dude, I always fucking talk about how like she's just fucking. She's so nice. Yeah. She's just so fucking nice.
Extremely nice.
Like,
funny.
I've been told by like the shit that people talk about Shayna is that she's too nice, that she doesn't have like an asshole bone in her body, and like they'll try to talk shit about other comedians, and she's like, I'm not gonna do that. And I'm just like,
oh yeah, that shit is lame. You gotta fucking, dude. You know you don't like everybody. Like stop. Like you're lying.
We're on to you, Shayna.
Yeah, you're lying. You don't like everybody, dude. And maybe you don't. Maybe not right now because she's so new. Yeah. Maybe she does like everybody, but it's not gonna be like that forever.
Yeah. Well, because she kind of looks, and I mean, in her voice, she kind of like sounds and looks like a mean girl. Like she like if she would be like the head of like a little clique that would be tearing people down, but like no, she's literally one of the nicest people.
Talking shit is just a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, I've said terrible stuff about my friends. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, not like, you know, like, to hurt them, you know, like, I don't know, career wise or something.
Yeah.
But like, if we're talking about my friends, I'll be like, yeah, they fucking suck.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's fun. It's more fun to say somebody sucks than to just praise them all the time.
Yeah, I've been getting into a lot of conversations recently with people. Like, because I'm a huge, like, I get words have power to a certain extent.
Yeah, of
but
course.
At the same time, it's like, dude, like, I'm not out here murdering people. I'm not out here doing crazy illegal activity. We're just saying words.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, I think we just need to come to an understanding that, like, at least, and this is my opinion, it's like how people are always like, oh, like, if you're going to move to a different country, you should speak that language. Everyone's always like, why don't you speak English when you come over here? But it's like, I agree with that, but it's like it works both ways. So it's like if you're going to move to, you know, Mexico, you should learn to speak Spanish. Yeah. So it's like if you're going to go to a comedy show, you need to learn at least the basics of comedy language. Like no one in there really believes that there should be more mass shootings. Yeah. Nobody truly believes that they want to, you know, eat the rich, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Right. It's like, it's a joke.
And, yeah.
And even when it's not getting laughs, even if it's like, if it's not getting laughs and they're like still trying to like figure it out or something like that, like it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they believe.
Right. Yeah. That's the problem is that
let people work on their shit.
Ever since like Louis like would talk about jerking off all the time. and then it came out that he was doing that in front of people. It's like now everybody thinks that everything is said on stage is like 100% real,
dude.
And it's like a lot of stuff does come from reality, but it's like never, like, I don't know, Cosby also never brought up you know what I mean? So it's not he was so clean, so it's like, it's, I don't know, not everything is fucking like if I say something it doesn't mean it's fucking the truth.
I was gonna say we're not experts in anything,
right?
The only thing that we're experts in is like, I guess, like living, but that's just like staying alive. You know what I mean?
It's staying alive, and
like,
that's it.
That's the only thing that we're actually experts in. Like, hey, don't put your hand
And
on a
I don't even
fire.
I don't even want to be an expert in that.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know. It's like we want to. It's like, can I get a new job? Like to be expert in dying now.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
So, Blake, where can we find your shit?
At Big Rad Machine on everything. RAD in the middle there, Rad. And yeah, that's on Twitter, Instagram.
You have your own website
TikTok.
or anything yet?
I do have my own website. I don't use it, so
Okay.
I post all my dates on Instagram. So
Okay.
all of that is there. I have a YouTube. It's the same shit.
Hell
so yeah,
We'll make sure that we get all the links in there.
Yeah, man.
And then you got any like shows coming up like in like not today, but like this podcast will probably be out like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh yeah, dude, I'll be in Cleveland literally all next week. So from Thursday to Monday, I have shows in Cleveland. I'll put them on my Instagram. But yeah, I'll be in Cleveland all of next weekend.
Hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. So not too far away. Y'all can make the trip to come and see this guy.
Come see me, dude.
Dude, all right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. This was fucking Blake Hammond.
Thank you, dude.
Thanks a lot, dude.
Thanks for coming on. Or having
Thanks for listening.